everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Hack-A-Mall. We have a super fun one and kind of techy.
Cool one. Yeah, this is a fun one. We got our tool, some new tools out.
Yeah, and like always, Rafael has taught me something new and has made me feel more confident about crafting with a Cricut.
Yeah.
Cricut?
The Cricut, yeah. The Cricut maker.
So, if you have one, great. If you don't have one, don't worry. We're going to show you other ways.
Options.
Yeah,
we're just going to
options.
Save some time, really.
And so, welcome to Hack-A-Mall Winter 2021.
Yes.
And this is for the winter box item, the wood and metal tray. If you love the piece as is, which I do, it's great. But this is kind of like an upgrade.
Well, I think what ended up happening is we have a very evergreen item here.
Yeah.
And we're going to give it, we're going to seasonal it a little bit more. We're going to winterize it a little bit.
But also, it's like a upgrade hack.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is going to make it much
very
better.
Cool. Yeah, 100%. I think
so,
this is a fun one.
We have our Cricut. I have my laptop. We're going to need, let's mention what this is.
Okay, so when I was going around, in our case, a Hobby Lobby, looking for materials, I saw that they had some, for the Cricut, it's veneer, but it's wood front veneer, and this is a little pack that came with 3 different varieties of wood. So the back of it is an adhesive, the front of it, we already cut one here, but the back is an adhesive, the front is, in this case, walnut veneer. And this cuts really well on the Cricut.
Yeah.
But it also cuts perfectly fine with a straight blade. It's just a little more difficult.
Cool. So you can find this at a craft store.
You can order online, anywhere where you find Cricut products, or in this case, this is Silhouette, which is another brand. Whichever one you use is fine. We're not pitching the Cricut cutter. We're just pitching this mini CNC. We're just using a mini CNC.
Right. And I was intimidated by the Cricut. I was like, I know people use it. It's super popular. Am I going to know how to do it? Is it complicated? And Rafael showed me, and it was super easy to use with the design space that they offer. So we found a simple design, but we complicated it a little bit.
Yeah, we found this nice snowflake, winter snowflake design.
And so all you need is either your Cricut machine or you call it a straight blade?
Yeah,
exactly.
Our breakaway, the same one we've been using since day one. It's actually the exact same one we've been using. Again, like always, break it off, have a fresh blade. I like using a cutting mat with this. Whenever I cut in general, I'm going to cut on a cutting mat. Saves your surfaces. Our surface is already pretty destroyed here. This has been my crafting table for like 6 years. I've beat it up pretty badly, but this just cleaner cuts, better cuts. We have a little measuring tape for finding the center here so we can place our item. We have, this case, you can use a screwdriver. We have the drill, just because we're lazy. We brought this back out. So if you watched our fall hack for the candlesticks, I used this triple glaze, but we used very little. This can is almost full, so why not? Let's bring it back out. Some blue painter's tape. This is a maybe. We might use this, we might not.
Okay.
I just like having it handy.
And a fancy gift card.
A fancy gift card. This was from when I got engaged to my wife. We had a bunch of gift cards in, and I don't know if there's any cash left on this, so it just lives in my wallet for the last 4 years.
But basically, we just need some sort of card.
Yeah.
And you'll see why, and then you're going to need your tray, and then obviously, the veneer.
The veneer, yeah. And,
okay.
And if you look, we're using the wood ones because I just thought this was such a cool product. I guess if you want to go with another one of the veneers, you can. Obviously, like always, experiment with the mixing of paints and stuff when you're using a new material. But we tested this, and it's going to be fine. And we also have a pencil.
Yep, pencil. And then just to get to what we're going to do. So we've decided to use this veneer to put a snowflake pattern right in the center.
So it's going to be, that's our goal.
In 2 different wood shades of veneer. So I think it's going to look really beautiful. It kind of looks like a wood inlay.
Yeah, that's the exact idea. It's a fake inlay situation. And we chose to use the walnut, and I think this is an ash wood. I'm not sure. Right,
so the tray is supposed to be like a driftwood finish.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it looks like an ash, I believe, and then that's a much darker, like dark natural.
Yeah, and the dark. No, so just so you guys can see the color combinations, it's gonna be this.
Yeah, looks awesome. So I'm gonna start with. I'm really excited because I learned how to use this machine, and I was like, my mind was blown. So it's super simple, and if you already have one, then you already know that you use the design space. If you've been thinking about it, you should go for it.
Yeah, it's a great tool.
Yeah, it has a tool.
We're not sponsored, we just like it.
I know we're not sponsored. I'm just fell in love. So I downloaded Design Space and I'm ready to use it. And then we looked for a snowflake pattern, which I already have. So we're going to do one right now for you, even though we cut one beforehand.
Yeah, we just want to save a little time, so we pre-cut one and we're going to cut another one.
So I'm starting a new project and I'm going to upload my snowflake. I made the snowflake 5 inches. You can definitely make it bigger than that. There's more space
so
here.
We can fit. And there's a lot of content online on using the Cricut, so we don't need to get too in-depth on how to use it. It's more, so it's 10 inches, so you can probably easily fit an 8-inch, 8.5-inch snowflake in there. And there's, again, just to go back a little bit, there's tons of content on YouTube on the Cricut Cutter, people that are much more experienced and do this frequently. So we're going to just lightly go over that, and we're going to really focus on the tray and applying our veneers.
Okay, so I'm making my design 5 inches by 5 inches, and then follow the directions for the Cricut on how to place the veneer on here. It is pretty straightforward. Don't be intimidated, and if you've been thinking about it, you should go for it. I think it's great for kids projects. Okay,
so while Claudia does that, I'm gonna measure out the center here.
Yeah.
And we're gonna start finding that so we can place our snowflake. We're gonna just use a regular tape measure and our pencil. Just flip that over. With tape measures, you can just, I like this because if you have a hard metal ruler that's not this length, you won't be able to fit it in there. But with a tape measure, this is like what they're for. They're meant to find the corners. So you can literally just push it until it locks. And we are at 14.5 inches, so 7.25.
Okay, so we're gonna be ready to put this on.
Yep. So I found the center here, so we know more or less where we want it to be, like to keep it squared in the middle.
Okay, and then your trick was to put little lines.
Yeah, instead of drawing the whole outline, because that's gonna start getting like really heavy on the graphite, I think if you just make little like pointy corners, basically, we'll show you here, it will give us a better, it'll give us a good marker without having to like draw up on the whole board, and that way you don't have to go back with erasers and try to clean it up afterwards. Also, what we're doing now is just taping down what we're using as a template, so it doesn't shift while we're drawing. Especially if you're alone, like it just makes it easier that you don't have someone else there holding the paper for you. Yeah, perfect.
Great.
Let's put one more piece here on the bottom. There we go.
And then just how Raphael mentioned, I'm gonna do...
Yeah, basically just like a little arrow wherever the tips are. And then we can line them up with the tips of the shapes that we're gonna be gluing on.
Awesome. So this...
It's a fine line between a dot that's small enough where it's not gonna get in the way when you do the final product, but big enough where you can see it. If you make like just a little tiny dot, we won't be able to see it.
Alright, so this is gonna take a little bit. Depending on your design, how much it'll take.
Yeah.
So we'll speed this up for you.
And maybe you don't even need to do this, you can just eyeball it. Maybe your design is just one big snowflake and you can just plop it down and be done.
Okay, so I finished making all my little lines.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to double check to see I made sure I got all of them.
Looks like you did.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Even the little drawing is cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that.
So our Cricut machine finished cutting our snowflake, and it's right there. So perfect. If you are familiar with the machine, then you know that the veneer is a little bit sticky too. Well, not the veneer, this mat is sticky.
Yeah, the cutting mat is adhesive.
So some of them started coming off on their own, and I'm gonna carefully start sorting them. But to take them out, this is where that fancy gift card comes in.
Good.
So some of them are coming out with the veneer, and then some of them are stuck. Okay. Look how cute that came out.
And it helps to stay organized. Yeah, 100%.
Okay. So now, yeah, you're gonna
use the credit
fancy.
Card. You can buy scrapers, like they sell like branded scrapers and everything, but why?
Right?
Just use a, and this is where you can tell we're not sponsored. Yeah, these come out. The wood ones are a little easier to take out than when you do like plain paper, because they have a little more edge to them.
Now our
shapes are cut.
Yeah, our complicated pattern. I put the little lines. I don't know if you can see them or not, but they are there.
Yes.
And now we're going to create some sort of pattern with our two colors. Not some sort of pattern.
We're going to take our pattern
Snowflake.
and apply alternating colors.
Yes, alternating colors. Patience, right? We have to have patience for crafting.
Or do you want to do it the other way around?
No, you can do it. You can do it. Yeah, and we're going to seal this at the end.
Yes.
So that
and that's going to help keep it all as one.
All right, another light one. Okay.
All right. Okay.
We did it.
We did it. We have like a couple, you can technically do 2 of them because we only used half of each, so you can veneer another item if you want to pair them.
Yeah, or like make a half snowflake right here.
Yeah.
But this is what it looks like.
I'm pretty happy with it.
Me too.
Looks pretty good.
It's one of our best hacks.
I like it.
Okay.
Right.
So now we want to make sure that this veneer stays on for good and that it's protected. It doesn't lift in the corners.
Yes. So first, you could have done this in the beginning. We're going to take out the rails, so because we don't want to gloss that. You can just use a normal screwdriver. We're going to use this just to save us a little time.
Metal.
Yeah, 100%. If you wanted to take this opportunity to repaint the metal, you can. And we do have a couple different colors of paint here we can consider that. It's just 4 screws and they come
Yeah,
right
now
out.
you have the metal, which this is what you would do if you were going to paint them.
Yeah, if you're going to paint them, again, remove it. I would try to find a way to balance them on something like that. So because if you're holding it and you try to paint it, it's going to...
Yeah.
So you can tie some string in here and then hold it by the string and just paint the whole thing.
That's a good tip.
Okay. We have some colors. Maybe we should paint it.
You're gonna...
I mean, we have these 3. We have white.
Oh, maybe white. Could do that. Okay.
All right.
To spray this...
So we're going to go outside and spray this.
Okay, great.
A couple notes on spraying this. It looks like wood, but it's actually painted, and the paint they used over this, it is going to melt with this. Now we're going to use that to our advantage. That melting is going to help fuse our pattern to the wood here, so it's going to make it become one, and it's going to really just seal it all together. So in our case, it kind of works to our advantage, but if you touch it while it's wet, you're going to just smudge that paint right off, and basically you're going to have to sand the whole thing off and start another project with it. So just try to always hold from the bottom, which in this case it works well. The bottom isn't coated, so you're able to just handle that.
And this is going to also now protect the tray even further.
Yes.
Okay.
This stuff is pretty strong. I don't think I wouldn't say it's going to be a food safe solution, but it will be a general use solution. The only time that it needs a good 48 hours to cure after you sprayed it before you start, even if it's dry to the touch, don't start stacking stuff on top. And I don't like to just leave things on top of here for long periods at a time when you triple gloss something, because it can kind of glue things together a little bit.
Okay.
So just leave it as is, decorated, undecorated at night, and you'll be good to go.
All right.
We did some stuff.
Yeah, we have some surprises. While Raphael, we were thinking about glazing it and doing all these things, we added more.
Yeah, I ended up painting the handles. I mentioned it and we hadn't planned for it, but I mentioned it while we were doing the hack.
Yeah.
And I had some leftover white from another hack that will be coming out. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just embrace it and go for it.
Yeah.
So I painted it white. I went with the matte white finish on this because I think the matte white handles versus the glossy wood is going to be really nice. So, and then we went with the triple glaze on the wood. The way I painted these was I got a little bit of fishing line and I kind of held them like this and painted it.
Yeah.
As you can see from my fingers being a little dirty. Yeah, just because the paint, you don't want to handle it for at least 10 minutes after painting it. So this way you're able to do what you need to do. And then when we're done, I just laid it down and cut off the line.
And
just take that off and trash.
I'm going to handle this still carefully because we didn't wait as long as you should wait, but I did want to show you
the final product.
How
So you see
amazing
it
is
darkened the colors,
Yeah.
it made it more vibrant, and if the paint that's on this kind of melts with the spray paint and will cause it to kind of fuse. Like at this point, you're committed. There is no going back once you hit it with the glaze.
Yeah, it changed it completely.
Yeah, and we did some more. We also ended up adding, we had some leftover wood,
yes.
so we added the extra panels to this. Now we have 2 snowflakes to split in half.
And so the snowflakes are little, we chose like a Scandinavian style. That's going to match really well with your winter 2021 box. And it's a good trend.
Yeah. Now I didn't paint the screws. You can if you need to. What you can do is you can get like a little bit of cardboard and just like partially screw the screw in and then just paint them and then go back and do it. I kind of like the black and white look, but we can go back and paint those too.
Yeah.
But for now, we're just gonna show you it back on.
Okay, so we're gonna put the handles back on.
Yes.
And then we have a finished hack. So we can use a machine like the Cricut, or you can, I'm gonna be saying that wrong. Is it Cricut? Cricut? A whole word, Cricut. You can use
now I don't know. Now you're making me second guess
a
it.
straight blade, or X-Acto knife, I call it. I mean, also you can buy a stencil to.
Sorry, I'm gonna be loud.
Yep. To add something to the tray. But if you guys have one of these machines or even X-Acto knife, this is amazing.
Very doable.
Yeah.
And maybe you can even find. That's why you should not use this and go with the hand, with an actual screwdriver. You might be able to even get lucky and find pre-cut veneers. Like maybe look up like wood veneer online, like wood veneer patterns online, something like that, and you'll get lucky and find something already. You can just stick it on and spray it and call it a day.
If you didn't want shiny, could you do a matte?
You could do a matte finish on this. I like the triple glaze, but you'd be totally fine going with a matte finish. You can do, I think that's pretty much your shoe. I was gonna suggest maybe going with like a lacquer finish or something like that, but I wouldn't mess with it too much because the lacquers can stick to things over periods of time, especially when it's fresh lacquer. So I would stick with your glaze, like your clear finishes.
And if you don't want to use this, do you think you could use decoupage?
You could. On metal, I like spray paint.
Okay.
If you really want to make this last, the process I would recommend is taking like a 220 grit sandpaper, sanding the whole thing down thoroughly, washing it with soapy water, letting it dry thoroughly, spray painting it, giving it 24 hours to cure, and then putting it back on. If you really want to follow the process to the T. We're kind of cutting a couple corners here. We want to show you guys more of the concept of it over like very nitty gritty techniques. But that is what I would do. And also before putting the handle back on, I would let this sit overnight.
Okay.
We're not doing that. We're being very careful, but also we're risking like if I touch it, if I drop something on it, it could hurt, like dent the glaze and mess it up. So, and you're like so far in it, if you mess it up, it's gonna suck. But we're avoiding that. We're being careful, but definitely had to wait. It's rolling. All right.
So you did it. You put it together, and it looks super cool.
It's different, and you can go with any color. Like I was actually thinking maybe we go with the blue I had used on our Hack-A-Mall sign because I thought it'd be a nice touch. But white is more universal. You can have a little more wiggle room with it. I think it came out great.
Yeah, we didn't change it too much, but it's super
effective.
The essence
is 100% there.
I love it. So if you do change your tray, add something to it, a veneer or anything at all, make sure you share with us in our Deco Hacks community on Facebook.
Yeah, we love seeing your stuff. I want to see variations on this.
And if you have any tips or tricks for us, put in the comments down below. Make sure you like this video or you subscribe to our channel 100%. So you don't miss any Hack-A-Malls.
And if you guys want us to do something specific, maybe you want to learn a technique or something, you want to see us do it, I would happily follow your requests for hacks.
So great job, Savage Crafters.
There we go. Perfect.
Thanks for joining us, and see you next time.
The next time.
Bye guys.
Bye.